So, this is episode 2. I so far have a 100% track record. Every time I've done this. Um, this time, we're going to try and focus in a little bit more on some of my different periods of my life, and figured best order to go in's probably chronological. So I'd start with the earliest stuff I remember, which would be very, very young. We lived in Floyd. We knew a lot of people on some of the super hippie communes out in Floyd, so I spent my fair share of the time running around naked and not thinking anything was wrong with that. Not to say that I think there's anything wrong with that now, but there is only in as much as other people think there is. So take that however you will. Not a thing I'm really bothered by either way. But early on, I was homeschooled. One of my very earliest memories is looking at all of the National Geographic magazines we had and seeing all of the words there. And my mom would read me some of the articles and stuff and tell me what it was said, and it just seemed so magical and amazing that these little dots and squiggles on the paper could become information, and more information about what the pictures was. And I mean, I loved looking at the pictures. I was a kid, but that magic hasn't gone away. I still love that I can pick up a book or a newspaper or read something on the web or on my phone or whatever, and the language is beautiful. I love it. I love math too. Math can be even more beautiful than language, but language as a means of communication is an amazing thing. And so I said, as soon as I want to learn how to read so I can read all of these National Geographics, and as soon as I do, I'm going to. And I learned to read, and I kind of did. I'll admit, National Geographic is not really the right starter entry-level reading. It's not really written for 4, 5, 6-year-olds. But be that as it may, maybe that's part of the reason that I'm such a good reader. Is I started on pretty adult-centric reading material. I was, as I said, homeschooled, so my mom taught me at home. There was also sort of a community school in Floyd called the Blue Mountain School, and so I went there some and learned a smattering of other languages, most of which I still know. No, not really. I'm lying. I can say like 6 words in 6 different languages, most of which is, Nein sprechen Sie Deutsch, je ne parle pas français, I don't speak English. No, I'm kidding. I do speak English, of course. And I speak a little bit of French, mostly from living in Canada, and I'll get to that later. But so I think, the early time I spent in Floyd, I didn't go to public school at all. In fact, my first experience with public school was when I moved to Hawaii, and they decided that since I was homeschooled, I obviously didn't know what I was doing, and I should be started a year behind. So I started 4th grade instead of 5th grade when I first went to school in Hawaii. And that wouldn't have been so bad, except that the next year that I was in public school, I moved to Canada. And halfway through the year, they realized, hey, no, this guy's a little bit smarter than that. He probably should be in the appropriate grade for his age. And so they bumped me up to 5th grade, or 6th grade, halfway through my second year in public school. And so I came back from Hawaii, and the few friends I had made, of course, were now a grade behind me. So Yeah, there were some other problems with public school in Hawaii. For example, being a haole. Um, but that's a story for another time.